You're cutting calories, pounding the treadmill, and living on salads, yet that stubborn belly fat won't budge. In fact, you're waking up at 3 a.m. with a racing heart and a foggy brain. Here's the truth, you aren't lazy. Your body is stuck in a metabolic prison. By stacking stress on top of starvation, you've convinced your nervous system there's a war outside. And in a war, the body refuses to burn its stored energy. Today, we're untying that hormonal knot. I'm showing you the exact safety signals, from the honey salt anchor to the protein feast, that tell your body the war is over so it can finally release the fat. You cut carbs, tracked every calorie, hours on the treadmill until your legs felt like lead. Logic says weight should drop. Math says you're in a deficit, but the mirror tells a different story. That stubborn belly fat hasn't moved. In fact, it looks softer, inflamed, more permanent than ever. The truth. There's a precise biological reason for this. It has nothing to do with your discipline or willpower. It's not about eating less and moving more. You've been lied to about the physics of your own body. And what's really causing this plateau? Something 99% of people completely miss. Your body has activated a command called the Hoarding Signal. It creates a metabolic prison where insulin stays sky high, even if you eat zero sugar. Think about that. Your liver produces glucose from within, sabotaging your fat loss, even on strict keto. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your belly fat has become an impenetrable fortress. More importantly, I'll show you how to flip the biological switch that forces your body to burn that stored energy. Here's the truth they're hiding. Visceral fat is not like the fat on your legs. It's chemically unique. It's not passive storage, it's a metabolic invader, and in this video, I'll show you how to break its hold. Here's why your midsection is a primary target. It's packed with cortisol receptors. Think of them like high-gain antennas. Low-level stress signals might be ignored elsewhere, but your belly fat detects, amplifies, and reacts. It's biologically wired to be a cortisol magnet. This creates a devastating cycle. Stress from work, poor sleep, or over-dieting leads to cortisol spikes. Your visceral fat, loaded with millions of antennas, absorbs the signal and expands. Here's the kicker. As it grows, it releases inflammatory signals that trigger even more cortisol. It becomes a self-sustaining factory. The fat recruits stress hormones to survive. It literally feeds on what's making you miserable. This explains the skinny fat phenomenon. People who eat almost nothing but still carry stubborn belly fat. It's not about calories. It's a self-perpetuating hormonal storm. Here's the nightmare scenario. Your pancreas senses a sugar surge and releases insulin. Now you're trapped. High cortisol plus high insulin, even while fasting. Since insulin is the master switch that stops fat burning, your energy stores are locked tight. You're running on sugar your own body produced, while your fat stays untouched. This hormonal chaos is fueled by 3 lifestyle traps that seem healthy but actually make it worse. The first trap is the endurance paradox. For decades, we've been told, move constantly to lose weight, so people pound the pavement, jog for an hour, or grind on the elliptical every morning. They work hard, but biologically, they signal a chronic, low-grade emergency. Humans evolved to walk long distances to forage and sprint short distances to survive. We were never designed to jog at a medium pace for an hour every day. Chronic, medium-intensity cardio signals your body. We're on a forced migration without food. Cortisol spikes to keep you going. Do this daily without recovery, and cortisol never drops. The result? Muscle wasting. Cortisol cannibalizes muscle to create fuel. Lose muscle to metabolic rate drops to burn fewer calories even at rest. At the same time, elevated cortisol pushes fat to your visceral area. You're literally burning your engine, muscle, to store more fuel, belly fat. You become smaller, softer, and metabolically slower. The scale might go down, but your body composition worsens. Next is the trap of competitive fasting. Fasting is a powerful tool for cellular repair, your body's elite cleaning crew. But imagine sending that crew into a building on fire. That's what happens when you combine aggressive fasting with a high-stress lifestyle. If you sleep 5 hours, rush through a high-pressure job, and then force your body to fast 20 to 24 hours, you're not resetting your system. You're crashing it. Your body sees the lack of energy as famine confirmation. The stress of the fast adds to life's stress. The total load exceeds your body's capacity to adapt. The consequences. Instead of burning fat, your thyroid downregulates, energy plummets. Hands and feet get cold. Your body clings to visceral fat, its last safety net. You are fighting biology, and biology always wins. The goal of fasting is to lower insulin, but if the stress of the fast spikes cortisol enough to trigger liver glucose release, you negate every benefit. You're just starving and stressed. The third trap. This brings us to the most insidious trap, the nocturnal alarm, the silent killer of fat loss. You might be in bed 8 hours, but are you really restorative? Here's a scenario you may know. Fall asleep from exhaustion. Then at 2 or 3 a.m., your eyes snap open. You're not just awake, you're hyper alert. Your mind races with tomorrow's to-do list. You toss and turn, finally drifting back an hour before your alarm. The truth. This isn't just bad sleep, it's a hypoglycemic event. While you sleep, blood sugar naturally drops, but if your metabolic flexibility is poor or your stress is high, it drops too fast. Your brain, a glucose hog, senses a threat. It thinks it's running out of fuel and hits the panic button. The response. Your adrenal glands fire adrenaline and cortisol to wake the liver and dump glucose. That surge is what snaps you awake. You're experiencing a fight or flight response in the middle of your dreams. The tragedy. And the consequences, they are twofold. The tragedy is twofold. You miss deep delta wave sleep, the stage where growth hormone is released. Growth hormone equals your anti-aging, fat-burning weapon. Without it, repair is impossible. You spend the night bathed in cortisol and insulin. Instead of waking lean and refreshed, you wake puffy, water-retentive, with belly fat storage maxed. You start your day in survival mode before your feet even hit the floor. So, how do we break this prison? How do we convince your body the war is over so it can release the stored reserves? We need to send safety signals. We must speak the language of the nervous system. This isn't about willpower, it's about cellular communication. The first solution is a radical shift in movement. Stop punishing the body. Start flushing the system. Replace chronic cardio with the metabolic flush, a strategic walk immediately after meals. How it works. When you eat, glucose rises and your pancreas releases insulin. But your muscles have a back door, a mechanical gate for glucose that doesn't need insulin. Take a brisk 10 to 15-minute walk after eating. Mechanically pull sugar from the blood. Bypass insulin spikes. Less insulin leads to less fat storage. Muscles become a glucose sink, leaving fat-burning machinery wide open. Next, we tackle the overnight crisis. If you wake up at 3 a.m., we need to stabilize your blood sugar before it crashes. Enter the safety anchor, a strategic pre-bed routine or snack. This goes against the no eating before bed rule, but context is king. If stress spikes wake you, staying fasted is actively hurting you. The protocol is surprisingly simple. A teaspoon of raw honey, a pinch of high-quality sea salt right before bed. How it works. Honey provides a steady stream of liver glycogen, topping off the tank so your brain doesn't panic overnight. Salt helps lower adrenaline and manage fluid balance. By preventing the crash, you prevent the adrenaline spike. You stay asleep. Because you stay asleep, you reach deep restorative stages where cortisol drops and growth hormone peaks. You trade a tiny amount of calories for 8 hours of high-quality fat burning. It's a strategic investment. Next question, what about intensity? We don't want to jog endlessly. We do want to signal our muscles to grow. The method, microdosing intensity. Short, controlled sprints, infrequent and brief. Once or twice a week, do short, all-out bursts, 15 seconds uphill, 20 seconds on a bike, then total rest. This mimics the ancestral hunt. Short, intense effort to recovery. The benefit, massive HG, H boost, up to 400% plus HG. H is the natural antagonist to cortisol builds muscle while burning visceral fat. The secret, less duration, higher intensity to hormonal jackpot without chronic stress. Fasting only works if you earn it with your feast. Your eating window must be robust, not a salad and a cracker after 20 hours of fasting. Focus on protein. Protein isn't just for muscles. It triggers glucagon, the hormone that opposes insulin. This is the target you need to hit for true metabolic control. Think of your target body weight. If your goal is 150 pounds, aim for about 150 grams of protein in your feeding window. This signals abundance to your body. We have resources. It's safe to build muscle. It's safe to burn fat. If you can't hit your protein target, shorten the fast, widen your window, and get the nutrients in. There's a chemical trigger more powerful than any supplement. It's the direct antidote to the cortisol feedback loop. Cortisol's biological opposite is oxytocin, the bonding hormone. When oxytocin rises, cortisol drops. Trigger this with vitamin G. Deliberate gratitude. Not just saying thanks. Take 60 seconds to truly feel appreciation for something. It could be sun on your face, coffee in hand, or someone you love. Generating genuine appreciation changes your heart rate variability and shifts your biochemistry. It slams the brakes on your fight or flight system. Before a meal arrow improves digestion and insulin response. Before bed arrow improves sleep latency. A physiological reset button that costs nothing. You're not fighting calories, you're untying a hormonal knot. Belly fat is a symptom of a body on high alert. To fix it, stop chronic cardio that drains, start sprinting, lifting that builds, stop starvation, fasting, to fuel with high protein to signal safety. Stop late night sugar crashes to use a strategic honey hack to protect sleep. Stop stress running on autopilot. Use walking and gratitude to lower cortisol manually. This is how you turn off the antennas, how you drain the swamp, lower the perceived threat, the body lowers defenses. Visceral fat, with no cortisol to feed on, finally mobilizes. Death spiral reverses, energy returns, brain fog lifts, stubborn beltline loosens. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things to signal safety to a stressed metabolism. If you've been nodding along, realizing your sleep, or lack of it, is the missing piece, you're not alone. That 3 a.m. wake up is more than annoying. It's a metabolic disaster. Fixing it involves your liver's natural rhythm. I want to hear from you. Comment below if you're stuck in the 3 a.m. trap. I read every single one. Let's start the conversation. See you in the next video as we continue to decode your biology. If this video gave you the answers you've been looking for, hit that like button. It really helps. Don't forget to subscribe to master every part of your inner biology. It's time to take control and truly understand how your body works. I'll see you in the next one.